Good morning and welcome to the piggybankadvisor.com show, a program which deals with your personal finances from investing to savings to budgeting. Today we're talking about Bitcoin. I think over the past few weeks we've been talking about C-Trade and how can someone buy shares using the mobile platform. And I'm joined by Batanai, who heads up that advisory. Morning, Batanai.
Morning, Happy. Thanks for coming through.
We're talking about Bitcoin, so we'll start from the very beginning. Obviously, this subject has been with us for the past couple of years now, since 2008. But please shed more light here. In Zimbabwe, its adoption as an investment asset has been very low. So please shed more light on what a Bitcoin is.
Okay, maybe just as an introduction, we've done an article that we've published. It's also on the piggybankadvisor.com weblog. It's entitled Money 2.0, a huge deal. So it's a very exciting topic given that there's been a lot of interest in Bitcoin globally. So as a definition, when you're looking at Bitcoin, it's a cryptocurrency. So it's just one of cryptocurrencies that are there, but it's the most popular in terms of adoption.
Okay. So you need to take people back. What is a cryptocurrency?
A cryptocurrency then, by definition, is a form of currency. It's a digital currency. Mm-hmm. So which means that it's electronic by nature. So if you're looking at Bitcoin in terms of how it was formed as a way of facilitating a peer-to-peer transactions. So it's based on a decentralized ledger called the blockchain, where transactions actually happen instantly. They are very secure because they happen on the blockchain network, and they are also fast and efficient. So really, it's effecting transaction over a network without any third parties. That's why it's called a peer-to-peer system.
Okay, so you can continue on what a Bitcoin is.
Yes. So in terms of Bitcoin, Bitcoin was actually developed by Satoshi Nakamoto as a way of having a currency that's not independent of central governments. Because if you're looking at the normal fiat currencies, they're actually controlled. Sometimes there are a lot of high transaction costs involved because there are banks involved in the process. So with Bitcoin, you can then transfer value digitally, efficiently, with low costs, without having going through a third party. So that is how Bitcoin was formed. We're seeing a lot of Bitcoin exchanges coming on board, and also adoption has been increasing, especially in North America and even in Europe and some parts of Africa.
Okay, so how can it be used as a payment system first and then as an investment asset?
Yeah, I think it's very critical to look at Bitcoin from two perspectives. Like what you indicated, you look at Bitcoin as a payment system and Bitcoin as an investment asset. So as a payment system, it's an alternative now to the normal currencies, because in terms of transferring values, there are limitations with fiat currencies. For example, if you're dealing with large amounts of cash, it's not really secure to transfer value. And also, if you're looking at cross-border transactions, in some cases, e-commerce, you want to do cross-border international transactions, it becomes a very efficient way of transferring value. Worldwide, we're seeing more exchanges coming on board, more wallet companies. We now have Luno. It's in South Africa. It's actually growing quite significantly. A lot more in Zimbabwe. We used to have Golix, but Bitcoin at the present moment is a bit shunned upon by the regulatory environment. But they're looking at ways of accommodating Bitcoin. So there are studies happening around Bitcoin for now. So as a payment system, it's actually very efficient in terms of the ease and also in terms of the transaction costs. But as an investment asset, if you're looking at how it was developed, it was sort of modeled around gold, because there are limited number of Bitcoins that can be in circulation.
Yeah.
And the way that you actually generate Bitcoin, it happens through a process called Bitcoin mining. So you actually mine Bitcoins through programs on certain computers, and also it requires a lot of power to actually mine for Bitcoins. So based on that, you find that the value of Bitcoin has been really being supported by the mining process, and also by the adoption of Bitcoin. So as more people come in onto the network, we've seen that Bitcoin has actually been increasing in value. Of course, given that it's new, it's a new technology. It's very volatile in terms of pricing. So we've seen the price of Bitcoin quite volatile. But over the long term, if you believe in the fintech story generally, if you believe in technology, I think it's an asset that you can actually buy as an investment asset. You can actually hold for appreciation going forward.
Okay, so if people are interested in this form of investment or payment system, how can they get access to it?
The most practical way to get access to Bitcoin is to engage these Bitcoin exchanges or wallet companies. I indicated Luno to you. They operate out of South Africa. If you have a bank account in South Africa, you can approach Luno, and they open a wallet for you. It's basically an app that you download on your cell phone, and then you can fund it using your whatever monies that you have, and then you can start to transfer Bitcoin if you want to pay or you want to transfer value to a wallet holder. It becomes very easy. So that's the most practical way of having access to Bitcoin.
But we come back to the Zimbabwean story. I mean, what have been the major challenges that you think adoption of this, of the whole cryptocurrency thing has been slow, in your view?
Okay, so we used to have Golex. I think they were very aggressive in terms of driving Bitcoin in Zimbabwe, in terms of adoption there. They actually added a Bitcoin ATM, which is quite significant, because in the world, I mean, you can actually count the number of Bitcoin ATMs that are available. But I think because of the currency situations in Zimbabwe, and also because of the regulator, I think they were not prepared on their part in terms of how to regulate cryptocurrencies. So I guess they needed time to understand, and also because of the limitations of FX and suspicions around externalization, I think that sort of slowed things down. But it's a great technology. It can be applied even to those that are not included in the financial system in terms of financial inclusion. It facilitates efficient transfer of value even to people in rural areas and things like that. So I guess it's a technology that regulators should seriously consider and start creating a framework for it.
But I think for most investors, the major question would be, what are the returns like? What are the risks like? Do you want to shed more light?
Yes, the risk, like I said, it's a new technology, so not everyone understands it. And also, given that it's a new asset classes, there are also speculators that come on board to come in and speculate. So in terms of pricing, looking at the price trend over the past 2 years, Bitcoin has been very volatile. But there's another opportunity now to actually trade Bitcoin because of the volatility. So with volatility also comes opportunities to buy low and sell high. So you can actually trade Bitcoin as opposed to just holding the asset for the long term.
So in your view, Bitcoin over the stock market, what would you go for?
It just depends. If you're a believer of technology, I think where we are going today, we talk of the Internet of Things. We talk about apps. There's this cell phone revolution that is happening everywhere. So if you are bullish on that story, I think Bitcoin will be a natural asset to actually invest in. But of course, even on the stock market, we now have technology stocks. So you could consider buying. We now have Cassava. It's a pure technology stock. They also have the EcoCash platform. So you can also invest in Cassava. But overall, from a global perspective, I think Bitcoin is actually quite attractive given the adoption that we're seeing and also the technology behind it, which is the blockchain technology.
Okay, but that's still a very utopian decision. The discussion here ends him. That's all the time we have for you this morning. Do catch us next week, same time. And for further information, they should make use of the site. What's the address?
The weblog is www.piggybankadvisor.com. It's a weblog. We have lots of material that you can take advantage of. But also, you can also visit the pages. We've got the Facebook page. We also have a LinkedIn page. And even on Twitter, you can follow piggybankadvisor.com.
Okay. Thank you very much, Betty.
Thank you.
And have a good weekend.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.